Coming up on Bloom, what happens when you heal your relationship with food and stop body shaming yourself?
The more you start to heal your relationship and recognize that your relationship with food is a relationship and not just something you're mindlessly putting in your mouth, but then also your relationship with your body goes hand in hand with the foods that you're eating.
And the Today Show's Joy Bauer is taking snacks to a new level. Plus, meet dynamic women working to lift other women. We'll have all that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. Today we're trying to answer the question, what happens when? What happens when you make slight shifts in life that can change it for the better? So what if you changed your relationship with food from disordered eating patterns to emotional eating? There are many reasons why people struggle with their relationship with food. And for each of us, it's deeply personal. But changing that relationship can be transformative, a journey that involves adopting healthier habits, fostering a positive mindset, and cultivating a mindful approach to eating. Joining me now to explain is double certified nutritionist Martha Van Camp. It is so great to see you.
It's great to be here.
So what happens when? And that's the big question we're asking today. And what happens when we change our relationship with food?
The key word there is relationship. So let's take one step back and realize, okay, you and I have a friendship relationship. You have a relationship with your husband, your kids. And no relationship is ever perfect. But if we can stand on this concept that our relationship with food is almost like having a silent best friend. The food can't talk to you, it can't give you attitude, but it can either nourish you and fuel you, or it's going to be your worst enemy. So the sooner we can step back and say, okay, food is a silent best friend, it's either going to be a great relationship or a destructive relationship. So the question that you said is, what happens when we heal our relationship with food? That's when we can actually step back and say, okay, this thing that I'm putting in my body is either going to propel me forward or it's going to mentally, emotionally take me backwards.
And along with that very same question, I think we can ask another question. What happens when we stop body shaming ourselves, which is what I think a lot of us do?
Look, and the two are hand in hand, and you can't have one without the other. So the more you start to heal your relationship and recognize that your relationship with food is a relationship and not just something you're mindlessly putting in your mouth, but then also your relationship with your body goes hand in hand with the foods that you're eating. Because the more often that you're eating these clean, healthful foods, the more better, positive relationship you're going to have with yourself. And look, it's not perfect as we've talked about, but it's about the consistency over time in recognizing that what we eat and how we feel about ourselves, therefore not body shaming, go hand in hand.
So how do we start?
Okay, well, you gotta, like I said, recognize that food is either fuel or it's gonna be your worst enemy. So the best place to start is to think, okay, where are my triggers? Is my trigger ice cream? Is my trigger alcohol? Is my trigger pasta or bread? And when I want those things that really work against me, why am I choosing those things? Am I sad? Am I depressed? Am I going through a divorce? Am I going through a tough time with my child or my spouse? So you have to just get quiet with yourself and say, what are the foods that I know aren't working for me? And why am I choosing them? Because we've created these habits with food and social events, with drinking or maybe eating way too much. We've created these habits that it's mindless at this point. So we got to rework these habits. Just like starting an exercise regime, we now have to be conscious of, all right, why am I eating this? How much am I eating? Why am I choosing to drink a bottle of wine tonight versus a small 6-ounce pour of wine? What's going on inside of my head? Why am I being triggered? And how can I back out of this and create a new habit?
And I think, you talked about stressful times there. I mean, and I think that's when people really start to get distorted with their relationship with food, or like you said, the full bottle of wine versus the glass.
Yeah, and look, this is almost a hard concept to believe, but let me throw some numbers your way. You and I, the average person, has about 50,000 thoughts a day. Like, that is rather mind-blowing. We have 50,000 thoughts a day. Those aren't fully all conscious thoughts, but of those 50,000 thoughts, 80 to 85% of those 50,000 are negative thoughts. Whether we're being negative about drinking the whole bottle of wine or being negative about our perceived body. But then even worse, if we have 50,000 thoughts a day, 80 to 85% are those negative thoughts. Each day that we wake up, we carry over 95% of those 80% of negative thoughts. So our brains, out of safety, are wired to think negatively. And that's just so depressing when you think about that. So we have to back out. And for every negative thought we have, we need to counter that with 3 positive thoughts. So you're right, when we're going through a stressful situation, whether it's work, spouse, kids, money, divorce, oftentimes we want to quiet the thoughts in our head, and so what do? We grab comfort foods. For some it's ice cream and sweets, for some it's alcohol, for some it's smoking. So all these things go into how we are negatively wired in our thought process, and we have a responsibility as adults, we're not going to play victim here, we have responsibility to unwire those negative thoughts. Think about this, like when you and I stand in front of a mirror, like 95% of us is probably great, but
don't even take me there,
right?
Martha. You're like, when you stand in front of the mirror, I'm like, oh no, here comes the punching bag.
Right, there comes the mind punching bag, because we are so focused on finding like the 5% of us that sucks. And so all we see are these flaws, and we can pick those apart versus stepping back and realizing, okay, I am wired to think negatively. That's just innately how humans are. I'm going to stand here fully clothed. Don't do this when you're naked. And talk positively about my body. Wow, my face looks great today. I don't have acne. I look great in that shirt today. Like, start talking literally out loud positively. So yes, you're right. The food and our thoughts, body shaming, good or bad, are totally linked together.
Yeah, I was just going to say, it seems like when you heal your relationship with food, you heal your relationship with the body shaming, you're healing a relationship with yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we do put a lot of pressure on those around us. Like, think about your relationship with your spouse, or I think about mine. And so we are constantly seeking validation, not only from our spouse, but by the coworkers that we're around. So we almost set ourselves up for failure, or these false expectations that we put on our spouse, for example, or our partner, that that person is going to validate me. And often, especially with women, we get compliments based on our skills. That dinner was great. You wrote a great story today. You did a good job with blah. Versus a lot of women want more of, you look beautiful in that dress today. Your hair looks incredible. Wow, Gayle, you look sexy. Like, we want those things from our spouses, but often our spouses are giving us compliments that are skills-based versus physical-based. And so we struggle with that because there's 2 sets of compliments. So
you're right.
Right, don't set your spouse up for failure or your partner up for failure. Set them up for success, and realizing that not one human being can validate me to the level that I need to be validated. So then you have to do a lot of this internal work so that you're relying on yourself to validate yourself versus someone else.
I got a lot of work to do, girlfriend.
We all do.
All right, Martha, we're going to share her incredible advice on BloomTampaBay.com. And coming up, we'll answer what happens when you start drinking more water and getting more sleep. Find out when Bloom returns. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now, 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. We're answering the question, what happens when? And now we're exploring what happens when you drink more water, get more sleep, and get regular exercise. These lifestyle changes can make a world of difference. Joining me now to explain is the Happy Healthy Human Coach, Michelle Cuff. It is great to see you, my friend.
I'm so happy to be back.
So we're asking this question today because really the little baby changes in life are what make such a big difference. So you think, well, what could an extra hour of sleep do for me?
Right.
A lot.
A lot, and all 3 of these things are, when I coach my clients, they're very, very important. I've got 6 of them, and these are the big 3.
Okay, so when we sleep, what happens to our bodies.
Right. So I want to state that sleep is the pillar. This is like the crown, okay, of like our health. So sleep, let's start with the big one. If we should be sleeping, the goal is 8, 7 to 9 is in that window, okay? When we sleep 8 hours every night, here's what's going to happen. So I call these the horsemen: heart disease, cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's. All of that goes down 12% just from sleeping. Okay, you are going to, at night while you're sleeping, repair your body. So your body is shutting down at night, your brain completely shuts down in deep sleep, and it's repairing your hormones, your enzymes, it's digesting all your food, and it's putting all your permanent memories into place. So you have to sleep to get these restorative benefits.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, and also I just want to state too that it's repairing your brain. So think amyloid beta plaques, flushing those out, and then you're going to have more energy, of course, when you wake up the next day.
All right, good quality sleep, so important. A lot of people don't stay hydrated, and especially now, I mean, we need to drink more water and eat
Yes.
more foods that are water-based.
So on my list of importance, water comes before exercise and nutrition, believe it or not. Because when we drink, what I recommend is 100 ounces a day, which sounds like a lot, but think about the average American that has maybe 8. So that is a big gap that we're missing here. So you have about 40 trillion cells in your body right now. They only function optimally with water. So if you're walking around right now chronically dehydrated, you won't reap the benefits of what I'm going to tell you. So if you drink water, you will have more energy. Your joints will not hurt because you've got the water in the body. Your skin's going to look better. I mean, there's so many benefits to drinking water. You won't be as hungry. You won't make those bad sugar choices. There's just, water is life. We're 65% water. We were given water by our Creator. We should be drinking water.
All right.
I mean, there's no
ifs, ands, or buts.
No.
You got to stay hydrated. All right, what happens when we engage in more regular activities?
Okay, so I could spend 2 hours here on exercise and all the benefits of exercise. They're endless. But again, I want to start with the biggest one. So the big killers of Americans right now, again, heart disease, cancer, stroke, Alzheimer's. When you exercise regularly, which I would say would be 3 to 5 times a week, depending on what you're doing, okay? You are warding off all of that. I mean, a lot, not just a little bit, not just like a 10%. This is a big decrease in risk of death from all causes. Okay, also when you engage in regular exercise, I can state the easy ones, Gayle. Losing weight. If you're doing weight training, you're going to have strong bones, you're going to have strong muscles. If you're doing cardio, your heart is becoming stronger because your heart is a muscle. It needs to be worked out, right? You will look better naked. You'll look better all the way around. You'll have confidence. How about anxiety and depression? That's going to really be eliminated by exercising regularly. I mean, anything you can name, I can tell you exercise is going to help fix it.
And how much exercise are we talking about?
Okay, so when I say 3 to 5 times a week, that doesn't mean you have to be in the gym killing yourself with weights. But I mean it should be 3 to 5 of either a weight training session or cardio. So we should be moving our bodies every day, okay? At least walking every day. But I would say weights about 3 times a week, and then I would say some good cardio sessions 2 times a week. That would be optimal, okay? I know we're all busy. But you know, we used to be outside all day and all we did was hunt for food and water. Our bodies were meant to move all day, and we are not moving anymore.
No, we're not. We're lucky for getting that 30-minute walk. And Michelle, thank you so much.
You're
It's been
so welcome.
So informative. We're going to share Michelle's tips on BloomTampaBay.com. And stick around. We're catching up with the Today Show's Joy Bauer, who's answering what happens when you take a plain snack and add a little magic. But first, it's time for today's Bloom trivia question. How long is the perfect nap? 10 to 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, or 45 minutes? We'll have the answer later on Bloom. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. It's time for this week's What the Health with the Today Show's nutrition, health, and lifestyle expert, Joy Bauer. And we're answering the question, what happens when you add some magic to a plain snack. Hey, Joy.
Hey, Gayle, I love this because I'm going to show you 3 things that we already love to eat in the plain Jane format, but we're going to zhuzh these things up a little bit and sort of take them to the next level. And we're starting with edamame. I love edamame. This is just frozen edamame here in the pot. I always have it stashed in my freezer. It's sort of like a dream food because it helps to steady our blood sugars, knowing that it's the perfect combination of slow burn carbohydrate, meaning that the carbohydrates don't spike your blood sugar. It comes packaged with protein and fiber, and it has those heart healthy omega-3 fats. So there's a lot of power packed in to these little itty bitty beans.
They sound
But
good.
I'm going to show you how to make sesame garlic edamame, and there's no stove required. It is the easiest recipe ever.
I love it.
Okay, so all you're gonna do is that's a little bit of sesame oil, minced garlic, salt, and crushed red pepper flakes. You mix it up, and now I'm just tossing it with my cooked or steamed edamame. And it's so easy. Again, it's the sesame oil, it's garlic. You could use garlic powder or minced garlic, whatever you want, a little bit of salt, and those crushed red pepper flakes. And it's not super spicy. You can control the amount of crushed red pepper flakes that you put in there. But people probably automatically assume that when they see that ingredient, it's going to be like my mouth is on fire. But it just adds this subtle kick that is so delicious. And what I love most about this recipe is you saw how easy peasy it is to put together, but it gives you a restaurant-like feel. It's something that you would order when you go out, and it just adds that extra special pizzazz. But again, like, I love edamame, and I think everybody needs to have them stashed in the freezer.
I love the freezer idea. I didn't even know they came that way. So you baked them first and then you mixed them in that concoction and you're good to go.
Yeah, so you could either steam edamame or you could boil it if you want, or
Okay.
you could just pop it in the microwave. But when you buy edamame frozen, it'll tell you exactly how to make it. And if you're lucky enough to find it at a farmer's market and it's fresh, ask whoever's selling it to you how many minutes you should steam or boil or pop in the microwave, because it cooks very quickly.
Perfect.
Super fast.
Awesome. So next up, Fiesta Lime Popcorn.
So I love popcorn. Everybody loves popcorn. It's a whole grain and it has that crunchability factor. It's like a perfect pop in your mouth snack. Again, I love it plain. And there's so many great brands that are light versions that you could buy in the grocery store. Or what I'm showing here is it's really great to just invest in an air popper because the kernels are so budget friendly and you could just, whenever you want, just plug it in, pop it on, and you have clean, plain popcorn. But again, in the theme of the show, we're going to take it to the next level, and I'm going to add a little magic, and we're making a Fiesta Lime Popcorn that I think is going to be your new favorite snack. So I'm going to show you how to make it, but first I'm going to show you my lack of skills when it comes to popping kernels in my mouth. There you go. 3's a charm. So I put it out on a baking sheet. I mixed it with oil spray. I added Cajun or Creole seasoning on top, a little bit more oil spray, and then I put some cotija, I always pronounce that wrong, cotija or Parmesan cheese on top, and a little bit of lime zest. So I'm going to talk you through it because that was super, super fast. Again, I took my kernels. So I have a great big batch over here. I put it out on a baking sheet. The reason I put it out on the baking sheet, Gayle, is because when you add your toppings, you get a nice distribution versus when it's in a bowl, it's a little bit harder to make sure all those kernels are coated. So first I mixed it with my oil spray. I always use an olive oil spray or avocado oil because I want the seasonings to stick. Then I put, this is just any Creole or Cajun seasoning, generously on top. More spray, then I put my cheese on, Mexican cheese or Parmesan, and then a little lime zest because that lime really sort of pops it. It's going to brighten the flavor, it's going to bring that citrusy goodness, and it gives that sparkle of green color, which, we eat with our eyes, and it just makes this snack so delicious. And let me just see if I have it.
I'm so jealous. There it goes.
That was good. That was lucky.
All right, I'm being told we have just a few seconds. Can you run us real quick through the chocolate peanut butter crisp?
Yeah, so this is taking a regular large or a small rice cake. And I'm going to show you what I do. This is literally magic, and it is the most delicious snack ever. So there it is. I add peanut butter on top, a little bit of melty chocolate, a little bit of like a coarse sea salt, and you put this in the fridge for just 15 to 30 minutes. And watch this. Snap, the top hardens, and you have this unbelievable. Look at that.
Brilliant.
That's all you need to do. It's 3 steps, and it's so good. And this is exactly what I'm going to eat when we wrap.
That's amazing. Rice cakes are so boring. This is brilliant. All right, Joy, you're the best. We're going to share all of these recipes on bloomtampabay.com. Make sure you follow this amazing lady on social media, and we'll be back with more Bloom right after this.
The following portion of Bloom is sponsored by HSN.
Welcome back to Bloom. All this month, we're spotlighting great women in celebration of Women's History Month. And I had the incredible opportunity to go behind the scenes at HSN, headquartered right here in Tampa Bay, to sit down with 2 dynamic women who were in the business of lifting up other women. With Liz Folse, who is the president and founder of Nakery Beauty, and super host Marlo Smith of HSN. Man, it is so exciting to be here with you ladies.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to have you here, Gayle.
And the studio's so cool, like a little behind the scenes action of where the magic happens. So Liz, let's talk about your brand. I know that you speak to the consumer. Whatever the consumer wants is what you deliver, especially when it comes to natural beauty.
Exactly, and that's what makes Nakery a little bit different than most, is that it wasn't that Liz woke up one day and I needed a floral dress, or Liz needed a new lipstick. It was, let's do focus groups, so let's listen to what women really want in products. And they said, okay, Liz, it needs to be clean. I want the clinicals to back it up. I want the latest innovation, and I want it to work. So that's how Nakery was born 2 years ago.
Marlo, let's talk about how HSN and hosts like yourself, you're a legend here at HSN, and you really celebrate women. And it's International and National Women's History Month. I know you've been lifting, but you do that year-round every year of your career.
Absolutely. I mean, it's the essence and the DNA of who HSN is, and we've been doing that for now almost 46 years. And it's true, we celebrate entrepreneurship, we empower women, and we really love connecting with the millions of people that watch us every single day.
And Liz, I know that you are like a top vendor here, really celebrated. And I think what's so cool about the HSN platform and women like yourself is that you get the story behind the brand. You really get to know who you are.
Yes, and you get to connect, and yes, we're in a studio, but you get that one-on-one connection versus finding a product sitting on a shelf. You get to say, all right, what do you think? Call us, leave your reviews, let us know what you think, and what do you want to see as the new fragrance? What is your next dream product? So it's fun.
And Marlo, celebrating women is something that's very important to you in entrepreneurship. It must make you so proud to work alongside entrepreneurs like Liz.
Oh my goodness, it's more than you can imagine. And to be able to see Liz's success, but to be able to see women really have their dreams come true here. And we do that in many different platforms. We have a huge streaming business, as you know, obviously. Our website at hsn.com. We are big on social. And so our customers get to engage with us. We entertain them. And so it really is this dynamic opportunity for people to be able to celebrate, lift businesses, and give our consumers a wonderful opportunity to be able to interact with us in a v-commerce way that's unlike any other business.
Yeah, I think we've gotten caught in this bot world where you feel so detached from who you're buying from. But I feel like I know you, I know your brand, I know what you stand for, and that must be so important to you.
It is. It's so exciting because I get to listen to what women want, and hear their dreams. And I was on with a woman the other day who said, Liz, can I whisper something to you? I'm like, sure, we're on live TV, go ahead. She goes, this is the first time I've worn shorts in 2 years. Like, you've given me the confidence to put on a pair of shorts. Like, that was like the dream come true, and that's really why Nakery exists.
And I'm so glad you said that, because we think about beauty, but it really relates back to our confidence, our mental health, and lifting one another. And that's really what the solid bottom line of this is.
It is. And you know, you hear the stories like that, and you know, even I make fun of Marlo all the time and her gorgeous legs, and I'm like, you need to put this on, you need to put that on, and da-da-da, you need to wear shorter dresses, blah, blah, blah. It's exactly what you were saying, Gayle. It's lifting each other up, inspiring each other, and saying, you can wear the dresses. You don't have to wear pants year-round, even though you live in Florida.
Well, you are two dynamic ladies. It's been such a pleasure to catch up with you both, and congratulations on your incredible brand and your legacy.
Thank you so very much, Gayle.
Thank you.
To learn more, shop, and show your support, visit hsn.com and search Woman Owned. We'll be right back with more Bloom right after this.
The preceding portion of Bloom was sponsored by HSN.
You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. Some of the coolest restaurants are nestled in neighborhoods surrounding our beautiful beaches here in Tampa Bay. Joining me now, whipping up caramelized shrimp lettuce wraps, is the owner and top chef of Grace Pasta Grill, Jason Lutz. Jason, welcome to Bloom. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So Jason, I love it. You are born and raised here, and you must love seeing how we're growing, but it's so cool that restaurants like yours are nestled in historic areas like Pasta Grill.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm a fourth-generation Tampa native, and just decided to take the plunge and start my own restaurant.
Good for you. So what are you making for us today?
Today we'll be making a caramelized shrimp lettuce wrap. It's a inspiration from a Vietnamese classical dish, which is a Vietnamese bun salad.
Okay.
So it has some rice noodles, and all this is gluten-free and really easy to make. And we just kind of heat these up just a little bit. They've already been cooked according to how your package directions would say, and we'll kind of just reheat them a little bit or take the chill off of them.
And I know that you really had an interesting culinary journey as to how you were personally trained as a chef.
Oh, absolutely. I've started here in Tampa Bay, working at many restaurants as a waiter and line cook. My first line cook job was at Jackson's Bistro across the bay. I got my business degree across the street from the University of Tampa, and I went off to culinary school in New York to the Culinary Institute of America.
That is awesome. So you put the noodles in and you nestled in some greens there on the lettuce, and that's going to give it a nice crunch. It'll give you kind of almost like a surprise when you dig in.
Absolutely. We'll heat our shrimp up a little bit.
Okay.
There's some noodles left in there. We'll put some of this. Is our house-made Thai chili sauce. There's vinegar, sugar, and we reduce that down to a glaze, and then put in some Thai chilies.
And when you add a sauce to any, should that be the final step you do, like get the shrimp fully cooked and then add in the sauce?
We actually pre-do it,
Okay.
so it's a faster plate up at the restaurant.
Okay.
So we'll poach them in a broth, which
The shrimp.
the vegetable broth.
Okay.
So they're pretty much ready to go, and now we're just reheating
Gotcha.
and doing some plating.
Okay, that's a great approach. And then to poach them in a vegetable broth, that's a great
You
one.
could
It
eat
adds
them.
a little
You could eat
flavor.
them just like that if you like. You could do it cold. It could be done with the shrimp on the grill to make it even more simple
Okay.
and healthy. This is going to have a decent amount of sugar in it, so if someone was trying to avoid that, they could put them on the grill
Okay.
and not have any sugar or oil at all.
Well, that smells absolutely delicious. Okay, so you've got your shrimp, you got your salad in place.
Yep. And we just put some microgreens on there and some fresh basil, some fresh mint.
And that's the other thing I read about you, is that you like to locally source. Like, you like to bring in seasonal foods and foods that you can get close by in the area, which is really such a healthy option.
Absolutely. We have such great options for seafood. I'm constantly doing fresh fish specials and seafood specials inspired by the bounty that we have here in our backyard.
And this culinary scene here in the Tampa Bay area is really exploding. I understand that you were voted Best Chef by Tampa Bay Magazine in 2021, which is really huge when you think of the restaurant scene that has emerged here. Because when you and I were growing up in this neck of the woods, we didn't have that many options.
No, we didn't. But I appreciate you bringing that up, and it's been a great journey.
So what's the vibe of your restaurant like? Is it in a home? Is it like, where do we find you?
Well, we're located at 120 8th Avenue in Paso Grosso Beach.
Okay. And that's right up from the famous Pink Hotel, if you're familiar with it, the Don Cesar.
It's about 10 minutes from the Don Cesar.
Yeah, so it's a quick drive. So even if you're like staying at the hotel, you can go. I mean, locals visit Paso Grill all the time. I mean, it's like one of the best kept secrets in Tampa Bay.
Absolutely.
All right.
So now we've got our shrimp on the lettuce and noodle bed.
Okay.
And we finish with some peanuts to give it a little crunch.
Nice. It's all about and at the end of the day, that's a really healthy meal. Not a lot of calories in shrimp. You know, it cooks so beautifully and on a bed of lettuce there. Chef, that looks absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your restaurant and all the accolades that come along with it. I know you guys are going to be opening up soon for lunch, so.
Yes, our target date is April 5th for opening for lunch. This will be one of the featured options for us.
Awesome. We're all about lifting up local here on Bloom, and you can watch us prepare these lettuce wraps on bloomtampabay.com. And when we come back, women in leadership meet a young and up-and-coming entrepreneur in Tampa Bay when Bloom returns. Living the Tampa Bay lifestyle means enjoying the sand, sun, and outdoors fun. So get out, get active, and nurture those healthy habits. Hey there, I'm Gayle, host of Bloom. Now there's a new all-inclusive place with everything you need to shape your lifestyle, boost your health, and improve your wellness. BloomTampaBay.com, Tampa Bay's premier health and wellness website, made to help you feel good. Whether you're a fitness fanatic, beauty buff, or just want to take your first step towards positive change, this free website is for you. See the Bay Area's hottest fitness products, the latest workout crazes, and learn nutrition tips from the experts. Plus, discover local events and experiences designed with your well-being in mind. Cultivate a healthy mind, body, and soul. Check out BloomTampaBay.com, your local health and wellness website. That's BloomTampaBay.com. We are celebrating International Women's Month on Bloom and even shining the light on younger women making their way to the top. Joining me now from the Gala Life is entrepreneur Alexia Gonzalez. Alexia, it's always so great to see you.
You too, Gayle. Thank you for having me.
And congratulations to you. I understand you were just nominated for Best of St. Pete and Clearwater Award in the Best Local Influencer category.
Yes, I'm so excited. Thank you, Gayle. It was an honor to be included with such an amazing lineup of nominees around St. Pete Clearwater.
And you said that really this is about building community, which is so important.
Exactly. And so I just mentioned I'm a local content creator and influencer based out of Tampa Bay. I don't have 100,000 followers, but I'm able to really showcase the community that I love so much through organic storytelling and by making those relationships and really being authentic in the content that I'm sharing and showcasing a real perspective of a local gal, a business owner who worked hard to create the things that I wanted to, like my new podcast, The Gala Vision, which I'm so excited to chat with you about. This is my little podcast logo. I printed a newspaper article for it because, you know, I've always dreamt of having my own show and decided I'm going to make that happen. We talked manifestation a few shows ago, and I felt like that was a dream I always have. I manifested it and brought it to life and have been able to use the podcast as a platform to bring visibility to other women, other local small business owners, and businesses that I love throughout Tampa Bay.
And that's what's so important to you is female empowerment.
Oh yeah, because it's those connections that I made throughout this community that allowed me to start my own business and achieve those goals and dreams. We can all empower one another. There's room for all of us women to thrive. So it has to be about confidence, encouraging one another, and not competition.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you just spoke at FSU on a panel for their annual Women's in Leadership conference. What was that like?
That was a mind-blowing full circle experience. I went there for my bachelor's and my master's degree in communications, and 10 years later, I was asked to return to speak about my experience as a business owner and entrepreneur since graduating. So sitting there and talking to women or students, girls who want to follow in my footsteps in the future felt so full circle and like a dream come true, and like I can provide those nuggets and those pieces of my experiences to help them grow in their future career paths.
And you're dabbling even in the jewelry world now.
Yeah, I'm actually wearing the necklace. It's sold out in less than 10 days. It's called the Gala Life Heart Necklace. It was inspired by a piece that my grandfather gifted me as a little girl, an amethyst necklace. And I just thought, how can I create something tangible? You know, as digital creators and presenters, it's hard to have a tangible piece to wear and share. So that's how the Gala Life Heart Necklace came to be, in collaboration with another local female entrepreneur, Jessica Santander Designs. We created this necklace and sold out in like 10 days. It came out 2 days before my birthday. The amethyst stone is the February birthstone. So it was just such a great gift and a wonderful way that I can actually be on somebody else's body and helping them elevate their outfit and their own personal sense of style.
And let's talk a little bit about the importance of getting out there and being out and about in the community, because it's a really great way to network with other women.
Oh my gosh, that's the only way we can make connection, is if you go out there and you put yourself out there to make those face-to-face connections. Even as a digital creator, that in-person relation and back-to-back is so vital and crucial. And that's how you learn, is by taking pieces of other people's experiences and those people that you meet and utilizing that for your own journey and process. So it's vital to connect with women like you, Gayle.
Oh, you're very sweet. I was just going to say, when I was your age, it meant a lot to me to get out and about in the community, and you don't realize until you become my age and you look back that, you know, planting those seeds early on, they really do grow throughout the year. And you're going to see when you become my age, it all comes full circle. People remember, and that connectivity, especially if you stay in your hometown, you know, it really means something, and people don't forget, and you start to weave a beautiful web of life.
Yeah, and mentors. You want to soak in those mentorship opportunities from anyone who can teach you something or guide you, even if it's outside of industry from your own. You can take a piece of other people's experiences and use it in the puzzle of your own journey, which I think is so important, and why I was inspired to create the Gala Vision and my platform, the Gala Life, and my community, St. Pete Gals. So thankful for this Tampa Bay community and all of the inspiring women in it. Well,
again, congratulations on being nominated as an influencer. We're always behind you here on Bloom, and we appreciate when you join the show.
I'm so, so grateful. I can't wait to see who the winner is, and make sure to tune into the Gala Vision podcast on the Gala Life.
All right, we're going to share Alexia's story on BloomTampaBay.com. We'll be back with more Bloom right after this. Welcome back to Bloom. Today we're answering the question, what happens when? From changing your lifestyle to your frame of mind, small shifts in life can create great changes. And for our next guest, it was the opportunity to shine doing something other than her chosen profession. Joining me now is a longtime queen of Bloom, Dr. Kathleen Geringer, who was recently crowned as Mrs. Vietnamese Community of Florida. Dr. Kathleen, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Gayle. It's been a journey.
And this is so exciting because it's something that you wouldn't typically do, but what led you down this path?
Well, I was solicited, but it really helps me to get back to my Vietnamese heritage. I came to America when I was 4 years old, and I lived the American lifestyle. And I met a couple friends through my medical profession, and they're like, hey, why don't you try out for this pageant? And I'm like, okay.
And so you did, and what was the experience like?
Oh my gosh, I had no idea what I was going to get myself into, but it's all about my why, and my why was giving back to the community. My why was doing what I can do that's larger than myself. What can I do at this point in my life to impact others around me?
and to create community, because by doing this you met so many other people and it opened up all these doors of opportunity. And I understand you didn't just win the grand title, but you also won for your gown in different divisions, right?
Yes, yes. And that allowed me to take the stage and be in what I want to say, like, control of my mindset and going back to my why. Why am I doing this? Because I want to make sure that we connect, and human to human connection is so important for our mental health as well.
And you know, you talked about going back to your roots, and you and I talk about this on the show. You're Vietnamese, I'm Italian, and when you go back, you use a lot of those healing modalities for your patients today. So this reconnection of sorts must mean a lot to you.
Absolutely, when it comes to food, nutrition, and even exercise regimen, that's so important when it comes to setting goals and getting and reaching our goals to see where we're at and where do we want to be.
Okay, so talk to me about some of the events you've been doing since, you know, being crowned. You're out and about a lot. You'll even be out this Sunday at a big event to feed the homeless and those in need at Al Lopez Park.
Yes, after I got crowned, I think I want to say after, when I come back from Dubai, my trip, I was placed to work immediately. So we have a lot of community events going on, and right here in Tampa Bay we have this Easter picnic to serve the underprivileged, the homelessness, and allow our community to really show compassion and kindness and just be out there and connect with others.
And what was it like gearing up for all of this?
Oh, well, a lot of work, a lot of exercising, nutrition, and I have like a support system.
That's awesome. I can see you there working out, and you know, and look at you. I mean, you would think you were a top runway model here. I mean, it had to be exciting to get out there and strut yourself in a way that you don't typically do on the day in and day out.
No, not at all.
Well, listen, we are so proud of you. I love looking at the video there. You looked absolutely stunning. And once again, congratulations on the big win. And thank you for all the things that will be out and about doing in our community and beyond.
Thank you, Gayle, and thank you, Bloom, for having such a wonderful show.
We so appreciate you're part of it. And so we're going to share Dr. Kathleen's story on BloomTampaBay.com, and we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. It's time for today's Bloom trivia question. How long is the perfect nap? 10 to 20 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, or 45 minutes? The answer is 20 to 30 minutes. According to the Pew Research Center, 1/3 of adults in the United States nap. A short nap, 20 to 30 minutes, is recommended for short-term alertness without feeling too groggy to get back to your day. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Bloom today. You can catch Bloom anytime by following us on social media. We're on all major platforms, so get a behind-the-scenes look at all of the innovative breakthrough health and wellness conversations and incredible guests that we have right here on Bloom. And don't forget to check out our podcast, The Bloom Health Club. You can catch it live on Facebook and YouTube on Mondays at 2 p.m. We take a deep dive and have extended conversations with some of the top guests that we have right here on Bloom. Of course, you can stream episodes anytime on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Well, we hope you'll tune in again on the next Bloom presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We're catching up with the mom of Tampa Bay's famous quadruplets as they get ready to celebrate their first birthday. And the self-esteem doctor is back on the heels of her new book, Through the Hard Times, sharing practical tips on overcoming perfectionism. Stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you on the next Bloom.
Content segments during Bloom were paid for by HSN.
Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.